Good evening, Cumberland County and parents of the West Shore School District, and welcome to the Watchdog Report. So, apparently, the West Shore School District thought I forgot about them because they haven't heard from me as often as they normally do. But no, I haven't forgotten about you at all, my dear. I've just been extremely busy with other things that, well, needed my attention. But here I am. I'm back and I'm coming for you. So, that being stated, first and foremost, I do want to take a moment to talk about this movie that I saw with my husband at Wyatt the Well. Um, it's part of a ministry of the Landmark Baptist Church in Mechanicsburg, and it's this one. And it is called, let me see if I can get a good picture of it. Okay, so it is called The American Miracle. And it is really an excellent film. Okay, and you can get the DVD at the Landmark Baptist Church Wyatt the Well Christian Library. It's called The American Miracle. Our Nation is No Accident, and it gives actual history as to how our nation came to be, and it shares a lot of the miracles that George Washington experienced. Okay, and God's protection over this man. It's really, really worth seeing. So if you can get a copy of The American Miracle, Our Nation is No Accident, it's great viewing for you and your family, and it will detox your children from some of the tainted history that is being taught in the West Shore School District and bring history into perspective and also help our children understand in this younger generation that we were always a Christian nation, and they can see the hand of God, the power of God, okay, over this nation. So I recommend it. Okay, excellent video. Angel Studios will also be releasing sometime in the spring. I believe it's in the spring. A movie called The Young Washington, and it's it's aligned with this DVD and this film that I just saw. I mean, it's not the same company, but it's the same basic idea, only they're going to get more into the life of Washington. This one that I just recommended gets into the life of all the founding fathers, okay, of our great nation when this was still a nation under God. Okay, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. It really isn't. So, I am going to start by saying what I am going to speak about today, it's not an attack, okay, nor a disparagement against any religion per se, okay? But it is what I'm going to speak about today. The purpose why I'm speaking about it is to put forth the hypocrisy of the West Shore School Administration and their superintendent, Todd Stokes, and any board member that has allowed this to happen. So I have been receiving a lot of not only information, but phone calls from parents and children alike, okay, in the West Shore School District, talking about Ramadan. Now, Ramadan is a Muslim celebration in which they fast all day, if I'm correct, and they only eat at night, okay, and they do say prayers certain times a day. And it seems as though the West Shore School District has decided that they are going to give the Muslims, okay, preferential treatment. And this is what I mean, guys. And we're going to put everything in perspective, okay? So let's start with the question, the main question that a lot of people are asking me. Children are reporting, students are reporting, especially those in Cedar Cliff High School, that the administration has gone as far as to provide prayer rooms for the students during the month of Ramadan. Okay, so a lot of the parents are asking me, are prayer rooms for Muslims allowed? So I'm going to give you the answer. Okay, it may be shocking to some of you, but we're going to put everything in perspective for you here at the polling point. So Are prayer rooms for Muslim students allowed? The answer to that is yes, if and only if the school provides them on a neutral, non discriminatory basis. Under the First Amendment, public schools may accommodate student religious practices as long as they do not endorse a religion or discriminate between religions. Or discriminate between religions. The U.S. Department of Education explicitly stated that students may engage in religious expression during non instructional time, and school may provide space as long as it is offered neutrally. Now, the Constitution of the United States does allow, okay, and make place for students to, say prayers in school as long as it's not during school time. It could be their break, it could be the lunch hour, okay. But for many years, we, especially here in the West Shore School District, separation of church and state. And I have been into I have attended some school board meetings in which some of the left wing parents were yelling at a lot of our conservative school board members about keeping your religion out of the school and keeping your religion outside that door. So, the U.S. Department of Education explicitly states that students may engage in religious expression during non-instructional time, and school may provide the space as long as it is offered neutrally. Now, this is what this means, okay? It's not what Todd Stokes and all these Looney Tunes are trying to sell you, okay? So, what it means is that a school may provide a quiet room for Muslim students to pray, but it must also allow Christians, Jewish, Hindu, and any other student to use that same space for their religious practice if they or if a school provides a prayer room only for one religion and denies it to others, that is unconstitutional viewpoint discrimination. And that's the problem with the West Shore School District. Now, all of a sudden, okay, they want to accommodate the Muslim students, but they refuse to accommodate the Christian students. Okay, I can tell you this. I'll tell you a story. When my boy started school here in the West Shore School District, I believe it was middle school. I can be wrong. One of my boys decided that they were going to pray over their food. A teacher saw it, reprimanded him in front of his schoolmates, okay, that he wasn't allowed to do that in the school. And she proceeded to tell the kids that God was a myth, like in Greek mythology, a myth. Oh, but don't tell your parents. She did say, don't tell your parents. Okay. And yeah, the students told the parents that God was a myth, that God didn't exist. So, of course, anybody who knows my husband by now know that he challenged her and was willing to have a public debate with her on creation and on the existence of God. But of course, they didn't entertain it. Okay. So, the next question is this. Parents have been reporting that some of the Muslim students are going into the bathrooms in the schools to practice what they call voodoo or appellation. So for those of you who don't know, is voodoo, WUDU. Okay, and basically, before they pray, they have to perform, as you can see here on the screen, a ritual washing. Okay, and you will see here all the body parts that they have to cover: the hands, the mouth, the nose, the face, different areas of the arms, the forehead, the hair, back of the neck, inside the ears and behind the ears, and the feet. Okay, so a lot of students are reporting that there are Muslim students going into the public bathroom here in the West Shore School Districts. Okay, and it was reported a couple of times that it happened in Cedar Cliff. They're washing their feet in the sink that all the other students use. Okay? Think about that for a minute. They're washing their feet in the sink. And they can say, well, no, that's not true. No, it's true. It's true because more than 5 families, more than 5 students have complained about it. Okay? It is true. So the question then that I was asked is performing wudu in public school bathrooms allowed? So this is the answer, okay? Students are allowed to perform religious washing as long as it does not damage property or create sanitation hazards. I'm going to repeat it again. As long as it does not damage property or create sanitation hazards. The school cannot ban a religious practice simply because it is religious. However, schools must regulate how facilities are used. For example, no feet in the sinks, no flooding of the floors. Schools may provide alternative accommodation, private bathrooms, or a designated faucet area to maintain hygiene. Do you get it? Because obviously, the administrator of the West Shore School District does not understand this. It's unsanitary. Unsanitary. So they would have to create reasonable accommodation principles described in religious rights guidance. So they have to create, in other words, a reasonable accommodation for them. How, like, let's say, go into the shower and wash your feet. Hello, McFly, Stokes, are you hearing this? They are not allowed to wash their feet in the sink, McFly. How about in the shower? Okay, perfect place, don't you think? Or maybe they can bring a wash basin, put it in the shower, and wash their feet there. So wudu itself is protected. Washing feet in a sink may be restricted for safety and sanitation reasons, but the school must offer a reasonable alternative. Do you hear that, Stokes? McFly, it's not that difficult. Get it together. All right. Now, the other thing that people have been speaking about is this free take-home Ramadan meal. So, this was the other question, folks. And this is why it took me so long to make this video, because I was receiving these questions. I wanted to make sure that these questions were addressed. Okay. Can school use taxpayer money to buy Ramadan meals? So the answer is no. Public schools cannot use public funds to provide meals for religious observance of any specific faith. So interesting enough, for Christmas, there's no special meal. For Easter, there's no special meal. For Good Friday, there's no special meal. But voila, there's a special meal now for Ramadan. And it's a take-home meal. Listen, sometimes, depending on your religion and your observance, it may require the students staying at home to practice their faith. There's nothing wrong with that. But no, McFly here, Mr. Stokes, because I refuse to call him Dr. Stokes, our administrator decides that we're going to give them Ramadan meals on the taxpayer expense when that is not allowed. Public schools cannot use public funds to provide meals for religious observance of any specific faiths. Now, schools may adjust schedules, provide a quiet room during lunch, or excuse absences for the Eid celebration, but they cannot purchase religious meals for Ramadan, Easter, Passover, etc. Doing so would violate the Establishment Clause because it constitutes direct financial support of a religious practice. So when are the Christians getting their meals? Hello. None of the guidance from CARE, DOE, or any sources suggest that schools may buy religious meals. Accommodations are about scheduling, space, and non-penalization, not funding. But McFly doesn't get it, does he? If a district is purchasing Ramadan meals with public funds, that raises a serious constitutional problem. Did you hear that, McFly? You just created a constitutional problem. All right. So, what is allowed and not allowed? So we have this little chart here that's going to say what is legally allowed and what is not allowed. So, prayer rooms, are they legally allowed? Yes, but they must be neutral and available to all religions. Wudu in bathrooms, is it allowed? Yes, but schools may regulate and must regulate sanitation and provide alternatives. Tax-funded Ramadan meals. No. Schools cannot use funds, taxpayer money, to purchase religious meals for any faith. Allowing Muslim prayers, but not Christian prayers. Oh, we all know this happens in the West Shore School District, especially the parents that have gone to these board meetings. We know this happens at the West Shore School District. So, allowing Muslim prayers, but not Christian prayers, is that allowed? No, because it violates equal treatment and viewpoint neutrality. Banning Christmas speech. Is that allowed? No. Students have full rights to express religious beliefs, but they gone crazy in banning Christmas speech for years now with the West Shore School District. God forbid that you sing a song, okay, a religious song for Christmas in one of our schools. Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Silent Night, anything to that effect. They will have a cow. But are they allowed to do that? No. Yet they're doing it. Are they allowed to give meals for Ramadan? No, but yet they're doing it. Are they allowed to have the wudu, take place in the bathroom sink? No, but yet they're doing it. Okay. Are prayer rooms allowed? Yes, but in the West Shore School District, it's for one religion, but not the other. Now, again, I will say again, we're not attacking anybody's religion nor faith. This is America. You practice the faith that you want and the religion that you want. But when it comes to our public school system, okay, and when it comes to the Constitution, fair is fair. If you're going to offer it to one, you have to offer it to the other. Bottom line. Bottom line. So when it comes to Christian students not being able to say Christmas or have prayer rooms, is that allowed? Okay. Are Christian students allowed to say prayers, say Christmas, and have their own prayer room? Under federal guidance, students may say Christmas, Merry Christmas, or discuss their faith. School cannot censor religious expression simply because it's religious or because it's one religion over the other. Students must be allowed equal access to prayer rooms or quiet spaces if such spaces are provided to others. Schools cannot treat Christian students less favorably than Muslim, Jewish, or any other student. If a district allows Muslim students to pray but denies Christian students the same right, this is unlawful discrimination under the First Amendment and equal protection. So, parents, what I think needs to happen, honestly, okay, is that since they've taken it this far, we, the Christian parents, have to demand our rights for our children also. We have to demand prayer rooms. We have to demand quiet spaces. Hey, well, why not ask for a meal during our holidays too? Okay. Enough of silencing of the Christians, enough of favoring one group of people over the other. What is fair is fair. And like I stated, this is not intended to speak down about our Muslim community. This is their time, their faith. Okay, that is respected. But the school, the public school, cannot cater to one group of people and not the other, one group of students and not the other, one faith and not the other. Because if you're going to cater to one, you better cater to all. But, in the spirit of Ramadan, I do believe that the West Shore School District should do something to honor Ramadan. I really do. I really do. And do you know what that is? Stop teaching the Islamic children and the Christian children LGBTQ plus indoctrination, ideologies. How about getting the pornography out of our schools? So let's honor Ramadan and let's honor Christianity the same way by protecting our children from the smut that is still available in the West Shore School District and the ideologies that these teachers are teaching, and that most of the school board, the majority of the school board directors support. So, in the spirit of Ramadan, take all these ideologies out of the schools, and while you're at it, clean out the library from all the pornography. So this is Mariana from The Boiling Point. God bless you. And just to let you know, JD is back. Okay. Welcome back, JD. We've missed you. And we will be talking again soon. God bless.
Trapped again, and fate as always has me wrapped again. I always get caught in my life of sin, but I just keep on going back again. You know I'm lost again, when all I wanted was to find a friend, someone that I can always depend on to help me find my life again.